I want you to imagine that you are a bee. But you're not just any bee. You're not a honeybee, and you're not a bumblebee. You are a cavity nesting bee. As a cavity nesting bee, you live a solitary life and make your nest in hollow plant stems using leaves, soil, or tree sap. Each of your eggs is laid in its own apartment and given food from nearby flowers. And this is how you spend your days. You fly from flower to flower, collecting nectar and pollen for your eggs, and of course, pollinating the flowers as you go. But lately you've noticed that the flowers nearby have changed, and it's getting harder to find a place to nest. This is because you live in a city where flowers are being replaced by roads. Now, we know that bees are super important, and with 1 in 3 mouthfuls of food dependent on the pollinating services of bees, their declining populations mean we might be in trouble. Unfortunately, it's hard to help their populations because we don't know enough about them. We don't know where exactly they live in Canada or what foods they rely on in these urban ecosystems. To answer these questions, I'm getting the help of future scientists across Canada by installing bee hotels on school properties. Bee hotels are human-made homes for cavity nesting bees in particular because they mimic hollow plant stems and other natural nesting sites. The hotels are installed from May to September, then sent back here to the University of Guelph for DNA barcoding. DNA barcoding is a really cool way of identifying each bee and pollen grain by looking at its unique genetic fingerprint. With this information, I'll be able to form plant pollinator networks. Think of it like if I were to follow you and your friends around a buffet to study which foods you chose. In this case, because cavity nesting bees are solitary, I'll be able to link each bee to their specific food choices. This will tell us where our bees are across Canada and what foods they like best in these urban environments. This information will help with conservation strategies by informing management decisions, as we'll have a better idea of where our bees are and what they're eating. In the future, this will serve as a baseline of these essential plant-pollinator relationships to track if they're moving or changing with climate change. My project is encouraging curiosity in engaged youth scientists across Canada while increasing our knowledge of these vitally important pollinators. So remember, next time you're flying through the urban jungle, eating from the flower buffet, keep an eye out for my bee hotels. Thank you.